Hello, this is the last of my videos on culture and group membership, in which we examine the question of how people deal with socio-cultural differences, the fact that different social groups have different cultural values and norms. There are perhaps three main societal responses: ethnocentrism, cultural relativism, and what is sometimes called pillarization. There are also individual responses, of course, on the part of those who move from one society to another, which has very different cultural norms and values from the ones they're used to experience, now popularly described as culture shock, but I'm not going to deal with that. So, ethnocentrism. This is the privileging of one's own culture, or at its most extreme, the insistence that only one's own culture is correct. It is part of the socialization process, of course, to grow up accepting the norms and values of one's own group as normal, and by comparison it becomes easy to stigmatize other beliefs and values and ways of doing things as strange or even as abhorrent. This othering process operates at many different levels, from prejudiced views towards foreigners and newly arrived immigrants from a different cultural group, to the suspicion we may have towards those from other subcultures within our society, as in the last video, including such divisions as city slickers versus country hicks. Both of those are obviously derogatory terms. The devoutly religious versus the secular, and one religious group against another. Ethnocentrism is, in its various expressions, a means of reinforcing group loyalty, cohesion, and a sense of group identity. As such, it increases the morale and dedication of group members, as exemplified in patriotism and extreme nationalism. It also helps people preserve their own cultural traditions, often over many generations, as with religious groups such as the Amish and Hasids. At the same time, however, it can easily encourage prejudice towards those in other cultural groups, or even discrimination and violence. It can also lead to an unthinking rejection of alien and innovatory ways of doing things, even when such changes might be beneficial. A second response is cultural relativism. This is the acceptance of cultural diversity and entails understanding a particular cultural trait in terms of the values and context of the society it comes from. In its stronger forms, it holds that rather than privileging one culture above others and judging the others in terms of its values, we should judge each culture in its own terms, recognizing that there are many different ways of satisfying human needs, and accepting that ways that are quite different from our own have a validity for the people who follow that culture and are normal for them. Such an approach encourages a tolerance for diversity and underlies the policy of multiculturalism recently advocated by some Western governments, which goes beyond toleration to accommodate the cultural demands of minorities by according them specific rights different from those of the rest of the population. Critics of both multiculturalism and stronger versions of cultural relativism argue that these avoid what the critics feel is the essential task of holding all cultural norms and values to some sort of moral accounting. This has become a major issue in discussions of recent migrations into Europe by peoples with quite different cultural traits from those that had become the norm in the host communities. For example, female circumcision, arranged and often forced marriage for teenage girls, the ritual slaughter of animals without first stunning them, and the violent exorcism of children alleged to be witches. For the critics, such practices are simply unacceptable according to modern European conceptions of human and animal rights, and cannot be allowed simply because they're part of the immigrants' traditional cultural practices, the onus being placed on the immigrants to abandon such practices as part of integrating into their new homelands. A more limited version of cultural relativism would emphasize the need to understand alien cultural values in their own terms, but not abandon the concept of moral judgment of all cultural practices, indigenous as well as alien. Note, however, that there are no universally agreed sets of moral standards, so that whilst moral judgments made on the basis of modern Western conceptions of human and animal rights are extremely influential internationally, they are challenged in societies with different cultural values and norms. There is thus a quite different moral accounting going on in some parts of Asia and the Middle East when Western tourists and temporary migrants exhibit Western cultural values, such as the free association between the sexes, the ready use of alcohol, and criticism of authority, which local people may find objectionable. A third response is what is sometimes called pillarization. This refers to the segregation of society into separate parallel segments on the basis of certain cultural political markers. European examples include the Netherlands, up to around the 1960s, divided principally between Protestant, Catholic, and Socialist segments. Belgium, with the division between Dutch-speaking Flanders and French-speaking Wallonia, and Northern Ireland, with a Protestant Catholic divide. The complex divisions of Lebanon, Sunni and Shi'i Muslims, Maronite Christians and Druze and so on, and the former recognition of semi-autonomous religious communities for the Christian and Jewish minorities in the Ottoman Empire are other examples. The modern examples have included separate political parties, schools, universities, trade unions, newspapers, and broadcasting channels. In all cases, the divisions between the communities have been judged as being so deep as to defy mutual integration. Given this belief, the segmentation has been portrayed as a functional means of keeping disparate parts of an at times uneasy union without losing their separate identities. Note that both the Dutch and the Lebanese segmentations have changed in more recent years. We should also raise the question of cultural universals. Although different social groups often follow very different cultural practices, it has also been argued that all human cultures share a number of characteristic features and that these constitute human universals, and so a basis for looking beyond cultural differences to what unites all human beings. So anthropologists have identified the concepts of family, kinship, and social groupness, sexual jealousy, making and using tools, poetry, symbolic speech, ways of dividing up time, beliefs about death and dreaming, music, body adornment, and division of labor, exchange, reciprocity, and admiration for generosity, gesturing, play, and gossip as being universal human characteristics. I'm not sure how helpful that particular list is. But it is of note that the early 17th century jurist Hugo Grotius advanced an early version of this approach when, in the context of the deep sectarian divisions and hatreds of the time, he sought to identify those basic human characteristics that transcended religious differences between Catholics and Protestants. So, thank you for listening, and particular thanks to my patrons, Ian Palin and Tricia Williams. If you like these videos, you're very welcome to subscribe to my channel. I'll try to answer any questions you may have, either on Patreon or in a future video. Those who want to support the development of the channel can do so through Patreon or PayPal. I'll give details below the video. Also, you're very welcome to press the like button so that I can get an idea of which videos are of greatest interest to viewers. This ends my first set of videos on basic sociology. I'll come back to the subject later. Next week, I'll introduce a new topic, on social media and the public sphere. Have a good day.